Income statement.
An income statement shows a company's revenues, expenses, and profitability over a period of time. It is also sometimes called a profit and loss statement or an earnings statement. It shows your revenue and manage your business.
These are the account titles that will be used in John Smith Inc.'s income statement. So we will first look at what each title means before looking at how it will be used.
Rent expense, salaries expense, telephone expense, utilities expense, advertising expense, insurance expense.
Nice.
Rent expense. Rent expense is an account that lists the cost of occupying rental property during a reporting period. This expense is one of the larger expenses reported. By most organizations, after the cost of goods sold and compensation expense. However, as a greater proportion of employees work from home, this expense may trend downward over time. Salaries expense. Salaries expense is the fixed pay earned by employees. The expense represents the cost of non-hourly labor for a business. It is frequently subdivided into a salaries expense account for individual departments, such as Salaries Expense Accounting Department. Telephone expense. Telephone expense is the cost associated with all landlines, fax lines, and cell phones during a usage period. If a cost is incurred in advance, then it is initially recorded as a prepaid expense and later recognized as telephone expense in the period in which the service is actually used. Utilities expense. Utilities expense is the cost consumed in a reporting period related to electricity, heat, sewer, and water expenditures. The category is sometimes also associated with expenditures for ongoing telephone and internet service. Advertising expense. Advertising expense is the income statement account which reports the dollar amount of ads run during the period shown in the income statement. Advertising expense will be reported under selling expenses on the income statement. Insurance expense. Insurance expense is the amount that a company pays to get an insurance contract and any additional premium payments. The payment made by the company is listed as an expense for the accounting period if the insurance is used to cover production and operation. Then the insurance expense can be listed in an overhead cost pool and divided into each unit produced during the period. When this occurs, part of the insurance expense will be listed in ending inventory, and some of it will be listed under cost of goods sold (COGS).
Transactions.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
John Smith Inc. Income Statement, January 2022. Service revenues. 194,225 pesos on credit side. Rent expense. 14,500 pesos on debit side. Salaries expense. 45,300 pesos on debit side. Telephone expense. 3,130 pesos on debit side. Utilities expense. 2,200 pesos on debit side. Advertising expense. 11,120 pesos on debit side. Insurance expense. 10,800 pesos on debit side. Total expense. 87,000 pesos on debit side.
Damn!